Vamos a ver. DUI. Tu propia liga de pados Exile. O sea, hasta quieres crear tu propia liga de pados Exile.
How did I end up looking like this in just 2 weeks? Have you ever wondered how much work goes into making a Path of Exile league? Neither did I until recently. But asking a GGG employee will be kind of boring, so I challenged myself to make a completely new league by myself. And that goes for new mechanics such as PvE, PvP, new skills, new items, new bosses, new beasts. That is you in the reflection. I will force myself to design and show you, the viewer, fully fledged visuals and UI elements. That seems fair?
Ok. Entonces, si entiendo bien, esta es la primera vez que veo un video así, de hecho. La idea de esto es como si tú fueses el desarrollador de una liga y tienes que hacerla de principio a fin.
Great. And in return, I will ask you to do something for me. If you enjoy this league concept, leave a comment. If you don't, leave a comment. Don't we love algorithms?
Wait. Hell, hold on.
Leave a comment. Don't we for me. If you enjoy this league
Wait.
leave a comment. If you don't,
this video cured me from Rule 34 addiction. Thanks.
leave a comment. Don't we love algorithms? So I present to you Path of Exile Conflict. But first, let's roll the trailer.
No oficial. Okay.
Gods, seems like those pricks were not lying. You are cursed with the unrotting flesh, the never dying.
I was there.
Okay.
Then.
And then here you are, once again. Grab a sword. Someone might want to see you on the courtyard.
Looks pretty good.
The immortal warrior. Welcome back to the fields of conquest.
O sea, aquí agarró a Vagan, hizo probablemente un hideout completamente nuevo. Holy.
Are you ready to go out there once more?
Once more?
Interesting. Seems like your memory dies with you on every skirmish. If knowledge is what you seek, place a hand on that effigy. Everything will be cleared, but we warned. Others have tried and gone mad from what they've seen.
Entiendo conozco la mayoría de esos cosméticos. Interesante.
We are not strangers to the sea of madness beyond Breaklust. A creature of malignant madness, born of that oblivion from before time itself. He feasted with our memories and fear. Black stars and blazing suns develop the ability to think.
Men, esto me encanta.
Graciously seeking eternal knowledge while serving the cleansing fire.
Esto me encanta, man.
From the depths of the temple, they cry out in agony. They are ever consuming.
Ok, eso sabemos que es con AI, porque mira los dedos. Así que sabemos que es AI. Más si no lleva un año, sí.
And even though the strings are gone, we were still guarded by their hand. I can feel the cosmic forces shaping the will of the people of Breaklust. Once more.
Me llevo un mes, pero gracias. Se ve increíble, ¿eh?
To fight the endless horrors. But what is courage, if not another reason to become a martyr between rivers of blood? And what is blood, if not a statement that we are living? But you, curse within.
Me encantó eso. ¿Qué es la sangre sino una declaración de que estamos vivos? Interesante. Me suena, me da sensación a Warhammer 40k, ¿eh? I like it.
Rotting flesh can maybe be the key to break this wretched will of
Eso dijo Milei, eso no lo dijo Milei, shut up.
maybe. You can put an end to this conflict.
Exile conflict. Interesting, eh? Interesting.
Hello, I'm Chris Wildotter from Grinding Gears Gay. And welcome
Wildotter.
to a new personal league concept known from Grinding
Grinding Gears gay.
Gears Gay. And welcome to my new personal league concept known as Path of Exile Conflict. Didn't know if I should approach this seriously or do something funny. So, why not both? Like an orphanage website without a homepage, I have a dark sense of humor. But you know what is also dark? Reclast, which is a shit show once again. While traveling through the continent, you will eventually hear some drums playing in the distance. Follow the rhythm and soon enough you will be met with enraged creatures from unknown origins. No, they are not third-wave feminism. Great.
Oh my god.
If enough monsters are defeated in one area, you will be deemed worthy of passage to
Oh
the
my
fields of
God.
conquest, and a portal will appear before you. On your first entry, you will
I
find
love
yourself
it.
lying down on the floor of a cell, with no
Okay.
recollection of what has happened. The guard, though, is quite surprised that you are back in the land of the living, and tells you to go meet Vegan at the Arm Square. He will meet you there, and soon after, both will stand before a mysterious silhouette, who calls himself by the name of Ashtari, once leader and now only survivor of the Zenith Conclave, a group of entities devoted to contain the Blind Malformation, a formless mass of monsters intertwined within themselves that travel the cosmos without apparent purpose.
Me encanta eso, y se ve bien Lovecraftiano, ¿no? Really good. Se ve genial.
Consuming all that is living to grow endlessly. Those monsters you fought before entering the portal were some of its offspring. The Zenith Conclave Ashtari Brethren have sealed this entity within their mortal flesh, which grant them immortality. But all which is granted have a cost, and after thousands of years, their minds start giving into corruption. They were consumed by the beast in body and soul, except for one. Or at least that's what we were told. Says Conan. Ashtari wants to reveal the conclave once more, but doing so requires strength. For some, unconventional, and for others maybe genocidal. He opens temporary portals directly into the Blind Malformation domains all over the galaxy. Only those who can defend themselves have a chance to join his vanguard. The ones that cannot, well, collateral damage for the greater good.
Ok. Vamos a ver las
Path
mecánicas.
of Exile Conflict will be the first league ever to incorporate both PvE as well as PvP content, each with its own path of progression in terms of crafting and looting. In order to ascend and be part of the Zenith, you will have to prove your worth. If you choose to do it by fighting other candidates in the field of conquest, you will speak to Pitrankova in the Ascension Barracks. This will be PvP content. If you choose to face head-on the Eldritch Abominations with the Vanguard, you will have to speak with Rigolos in the Tartarus Pits. This will be PvE content. And from here on out, things get wild.
Ok.
We had Path of Exile Tower Defense, we had Path of Exile Roguelike, we had Path of Exile Reddit Wars, and we even got Path of Exile TFT. Now I present to you Path of Exile MOBA. Once you enter the Ascension Barracks, you will speak with Pitrankova in order to enlist yourself as a candidate to be able to compete in open matches against other.
Ya me cae, mira, cada vez me cae mejor el tipo porque fíjense que dijo Path of Exile
Path of
MOBA.
Exile MOBA.
¿Y qué puso como referencia? The King. Once again. Moving on.
Once you enter the Ascension Barracks, you will speak with Pitrankova in order to enlist yourself as a candidate to be able to compete in open matches against other aspirants for the title of Zenith. She will ask you about the nature of your skills, and here is the moment where you are prompted to choose a class you'll be playing. Don't worry, you can change it whenever you want before any match. But what is a MOBA without a ladder? You will start at the bottom as a...
Bro, se ve genial. O sea, esto pareciera algo que estuviese en Pados Excel. Herald Division, Next Ladder Reset en 6 días. Player Skill, Monster Slain, Outpost Pushed. Tiene un montón de cosas. Noob Slayer. Trapingo. Tier 3, el Bringer of Rain. Interesante. Bro, o sea... Está genial, ¿eh? Está muy interesante esto.
recruit and fight all the way up until reaching the title of Zenith, if you're good enough, that is. Your journey throughout every single division will be accompanied by special rewards, more on that later. The divisions will be Recruit, Contender, Envoy, Herald, and finally Zenith in that order. Let's see how a match is played. Similar to the Royal event or any other MOBA, each match is a clean start and you will be playing with the class you were registered at the Ascension Barracks.
Eso me gusta. Eso me gusta porque justo iba a decir que, bueno, perfecto, voy con mi... Voy con un personaje ultra PvP para que no lo puedan matar y listo, pero claro, todo el mundo empieza desde cero. That's
All
pretty
your
good.
skills, gear, and passive tree will be as useful as Anna Frank's drum kit. We reserve all that juice for the PvE talk later. Path of Exile is already a very complex game, and I have nothing to prove, so we know...
Ey, ese fue un chiste que tienes que entender un poquito. Tienes que entender un poquito para entenderlo. Pero lo mejor es que no lo entiendas porque es... Ey. That's pretty... Wow.
In order to flatten the difficulty curve, I've decided to go with the map layout that most people are familiar with if they played any MOBA before. The map will be divided symmetrically in half, the Conclave at the bottom left and the Voidborn at the top right.
Okay.
From your base, units will periodically spawn from 3 different lanes to help you and your teammates push into the other side. All terrain that is not a lane or a base will be known as the outskirts, and they will be inhabited by different rare monsters.
La pregunta es, ¿esto es individual o con gente? Porque no creo que sea buena idea incluir la toxicidad de estos juegos en Path of Exile. O sea, venimos muy bien. O sea, mucha gente no se acuerda de la historia, pero Path of Exile es un juego bastante tóxico. Y con el tiempo pasó, y ahora es invita mucho a los nuevos, ¿sabes? Ayudamos y todo, pero era muy tóxico antes, ¿eh?
Use this zone to farm gold.
De hecho, me acuerdo de que Chris Wilson estaba probando, ¿sabes? Entró al reino, simplemente creó algo nuevo y tenía un ítem y se lo mostró a alguien. Y ese alguien le dijo, "You fucking noob. That item is trash." O sea, era Chris Wilson, boludo.
Gold, forge mysterious items, flank enemy players, or complete secondary objectives to boost your team and secure a win. More on that later. Every lane will be protected by 3 outposts. The first 2 can be conquered to gain more ground, similar to capturing the flag. The last one in each lane cannot and will be permanently destroyed. Your objective is to destroy the enemy's portal located on the opposite side of the map while simultaneously protecting yours. We'll go back to the map shortly, but first let's analyze the player's interface. On one hand, we have the skills located here. Your player will have 1 aura slot, which works as a passive effect, and 4...
Yo creo que en esto, o sea, fuera de joda, yo obviamente en 9 minutos estoy criticando algo que yo ni siquiera hice ni nada, pero... si va a ser algo individual, tener 3 lanes creo que es demasiado. Probablemente es demasiado. Pero tal vez 2, porque una sería demasiado simple. Pero tal vez 2 ayudaría a simplificar un poco el asunto. Pero vamos a ver.
4 active skill slots.
5 versus 5.
First 2 are for damage and abilities. The third one is for traveling skills. And the last one is for utility. Right now, some of them are grayed out, but that's just because we haven't spent any points in them. Here, we are at level 2, but you will start at level 1 with 1 available skill point to spend right away. And you will gain an additional 1 per character level like any other MOBA. What is not like any MOBA is this. The first time you assign a level to an empty skill slot, you will be asked to select between 3 different options. These are randomly generated from the pool that correspond to your
esto me
class and the
encanta.
nature of that slot. These, for example, are for the witch
Oh,
class,
I love
and for
this.
those who may feel unlucky, there is a reroll button on the top. You have 3 rerolls, and be aware that it is shared between all skill choices. So, if you are aiming for other specific abilities in your kit, you may want to save them. Also, it's important to know that any skill you select will be logged for
Dude, esto es una carrera para ver cuál es la habilidad que está más rota. Oh my god, esto es una carrera para ver qué es lo que está más roto. Uy, es que mira, me encanta la idea, pero es que yo conozco a la gente de Puedes Exile. Esto es cuestión de ver qué es lo que está más roto. O sea, esto va a ser Volatile Dead once again, man. Volatile Dead, si hay muchos cuerpos ahí, simplemente tienes un montón de Volatile Dead, se quedan ahí, cuando alguien aparece, ¡pop!, desaparece. Y ¡pop!, ya no está.
entire match. Once you have your desired skill active on your action bar, every additional point spent on it will raise its space level like in normal Path of Exile. It will scale differently though. Also, every class starts with a different aura, which starts with clarity, while the Marauder may have vitality instead. You can change your class passives later in the Weapon Master shop. Let's talk about that. Here is the main shop, where you can spend all your gold to increase your character's power. Gold is the main resource within a match and is earned by killing lane units, monsters on the outskirts, other players, and also by conquering outposts while pushing lanes. There are several ways to spend your gold. You can add sockets to your skills like they work on Path of Exile.
Esto me encanta.
And all sockets will be white, so you don't have to worry about colors.
Me pregunto qué tan rápido serán los match, porque una de las cosas que tiene que tener Path of Exile es que las mecánicas de las ligas tienen que ser relativamente rápidas para que puedas simplemente hacerlas en burst rápidos, ¿no? Y pueden tener algo adicional que tome un tiempo, como Simulacrum, por ejemplo, tienes el espejo del delirium que lo hace relativamente rápido, o sea, mientras haces un mapa, ni siquiera te toma tiempo de otras cosas. O las orbes del delirium que las haces también como si fuese un mapa. Y tienes después, cuando cargas todo eso, puedes ir a otro sitio, ¿no? Esto es interesante, pero que esto parece como que un MOBA completo hecho con Path of Exile. Me encanta. Pero ¿cuánto duraría esto? Porque ni siquiera he visto todavía esto. Ya me imagino a Reddit diciendo, oh, no. Yo tengo 15 esposas, 3 amantes y solamente puedo jugar 10 minutos. ¿Cómo voy a jugar Poe y después voy a tener que llegar a jugar el MOBA de Poe? O sea, tengo nada más 2 minutos y medio al día para jugar. Entonces, ya lo veo venir.
To something like zealotry or hatred. We have vision totems over here that help you reveal and scout different parts of the map, potions to help you sustain lane, and finally basic and unique items which grant different stats to your character. There are almost 150 items in the shop right now. Basic items are saved in these slots on your inventory to grant certain bonuses that are generic and can be stacked, but also they can be combined to create powerful and interesting
Oh my god,
uniques.
también se combinan.
This one, for example, called Hood of the Mindfulness, which is a caster item designed around mana stacking and regeneration. They will occupy
Mana Stacker. Moab, este es el ítem que tienen que hacer para ti, pero que va a existir en la mecánica y no va a existir en el juego.
in the unique slots right here. And both unique items as well as basic ones can be vended to receive some gold in return.
Algún día va a haber ítems de mana para las builds de mana.
You will find Arlie and Garly, the Armor Smith brothers. They don't get along too well, so you will find them on the opposite sides of your map. By gathering bone and leather from monsters in the area, they are able to craft powerful items called Soulstone, if you have the coin, obviously. Soulstones can be modified infinitely, but they cannot be sold, and each character can only equip one. Blacksmithing works similar to Rock from Expedition. Random mods will be offered to alter your Soulstone. You can craft them or just skip them if that's your choice.
Esta es la nueva liga no oficial de Path of Exile.
Some may like the comfort zone of the main shop items, while others may burn some gold for the chance to craft the perfect item, or get f***ed. Besides the win condition of destroying your enemy's portal, There are also two important events in every match that could tilt the balance in your favor if done successfully. One of those is the Rift of Corruption located here. At the 10-minute mark, a ritual to summon an abomination from the map formation will be completed. If you manage to slay the beast, all your pushing units will gain a random mod for 5 minutes, until the ritual is attempted once again. It could give cast speed to ranged units, crit chance to melee units, and even the chance to chill with hits. But this is not the only objective nor the most important one. One which is way more difficult and may require the help of all your teammates is the Altar of Ascension. The Avatar of Ashtari will spawn at the 20-minute mark to challenge all candidates for the title of Zenith. If you are able to defeat him, your team will be ascended. When a character ascends, it will be granted a random ascendancy and 2 points to spend on it. If you don't want the ascendancy that is offered, you can deny it. Doing so will give you instead 20% increased life, mana, cast speed, and attack speed, and also the opportunity to try again for a different ascendancy after 10 more minutes when Ashtari respawns. If you win again.
Man, esto tiene pinta de que un juego puede durar fácilmente una hora, más de una hora.
Obviously. Finally, Ashtari has gathered a lot of powerful enemies from
a mí me gusta,
class,
pero
but you can expect all of them
veo
to be
de
good.
que eso es
This
algo
last
negativo.
event is a special one with only 30% chance to spawn on every single match. Located here in the map, you will see an underground vault. You will know if the event is running or not on each match because a strange red hue will be seething through the cracks of the vault. At the 15-minute mark, familiar faces from the vault will break free and start roaming the outskirts of the map. If your team manages to find the special boss and kill it, it will drop a valor for every party member. You can use it not only on any unique gear to guarantee 2 extra modifiers, but also on certain skills to upgrade them to their Val version.
Ajá, bro, el reward tiene que ser increíble.
Rewards. Main currency in Path of Exile conflict within the Ascension Barrack, that is the world of PvP, is the Token of Triumph. These tokens have 3 different uses. For one, you can right-click them to access the Ascension Barracks directly from any town or hideout. Secondly, they are used as entry tickets to participate in every single match. When a match is created, all tokens are added to a pool and the winning team takes it all. The amount of tokens each player receives is based on the contribution to the team. That is measured by gold earned, KDA, and the amount of outposts conquered. Pitrankova will give you your first lesser tokens when started as a recruit to kick things off, and there will be 3 different tiers of tokens based on your position in the ladder. Recruits and contenders will gain lesser tokens, envoys and heralds will gain greater tokens, and Zenith will be the only one to receive grand tokens as they are extremely powerful. Powerful in which sense? Well, token not only works as entry tickets. If you take them to the Forge of Divinity on the Ascension Barracks, they can be used as catalysts to craft special gear that will be used outside of PvP. Different tiers of token buy different tiers of crafting options, the same way as Lifeforce do in the Horticrafting station from Harvest. Typical add or exchange modifiers such as resistances, for example, will...
O sea, la recompensa es el Harvest Legacy. Ok, es una recompensa bastante buena, sinceramente es bastante buena. Yo veo a gente haciendo esto para farmearlo, para vendérselo a TFT, básicamente, a la gente que le interese. Sí, en realidad. Ahora, la pregunta es, ¿esto es tradeable? O sea, si no es tradeable,
require lesser tokens. Same with things like reroll value.
O sea, nada más lee esto. Añade un physical modifier si hay un open prefix. O sea, te agrego algo sin quitarte nada directamente en el prefix. O sea, automáticamente ya está bloqueado una parte. Jesus, that's insane. Güey, ya va. Este es el lesser. Este es el lesser. ¿Qué hace el grand? Elige el modifier que quieres y lo pones en el ítem. ¿Cómo?
So reforge modifiers. Then we have greater tokens which do more interesting things, such as, for example, downgrade the item level of a rare item by 10 levels, or maybe you want to upgrade it by 10 levels. This will definitely be useful to target certain prefixes and suffixes that are locked behind specific item levels.
El del medio no es
then
tan
we
bueno.
have this one that removes all modifiers on an item except for one.
Este también
Similar to
great.
multiple land elements, but have the pain. Or this one that upgrades a random modifier by one level while downgrading another.
El tier de un modificador. Mientras, o sea, esta es como la Out of Conflict, pero para modificadores. Ok, ese no
modifier
es...
by the same amount. Maybe some things are more valuable than others. This doesn't work with suffixes or prefixes cannot be changed, as that will be kind of broken.
Ah, eso es lo roto.
Finally, we have grand token crafting, which goes a little wild. Like this one, for example, called Out of Order.
Oh, replace an implicit modifier with a random explicit modifier. The item can only have 2 prefixes and 2 suffixes. An implicit modifier. Oh, a un implícito. O sea, tú agarras uno de los modificadores de tu ítem, se va a ir al implícito del ítem. O sea, tú me estás diciendo que yo puedo agarrar un arco sintetizado, como el que armaron esta liga, y poner merciless en el implícito. ¿Y qué pasa si tengo merciless en el implícito? ¿Puedo tener otra vez merciless en el ítem? Esto crea muchas preguntas. Esto veo cómo puede estar roto como de 1000 maneras distintas. Me encanta.
Which replaces an implicit modifier with a random explicit modifier. The catch is that it will make your item only able to roll up to 2 prefixes and 2 suffixes. That means that I can move that life roll into the implicits now, and I can roll life again as a prefix to get almost 200 life with some catalyst on ring. Maybe you want to make 50% conversion gloves or 70% movement speed boots. That will be kind of insane if you're willing to pay the price. It's very important to know that both the gear.
Ok, ¿y qué pasa si uso esa base? Si uso la base de haste, la que ya tiene eso negativo. ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa si hago eso? Hay muchas preguntas. Me encanta. Oh, dude, hay que pasarle esto a GGG.
Here crafted at the Ascension Barracks, as well as the tokens of Ascension, are fully tradable. That means it's up to you if you want to make money by just playing and winning games and selling the tokens on the market,
Dios.
or you just want to engage in the construction of powerful items to put yourself on the market.
Ok, PvE.
Hey you! Let me see that. Like this. Ah, you have wooden planks for hands. Is PvP too hard?
My God, ¿por qué? Bro, me siento atacado personalmente.
Well, you are not alone. 99% of players in any MOBA suck dick. Well, at least that's what 99% of players usually say. But if you're still not convinced, don't worry. Path of Exile Conflict will also come with the full PvE experience regarding the loot fantasy, cool bosses, and unique items any neckbeard may want. While exploring the Atlas, you will follow the rhythm of the drums to encounter the first wave of monsters as mentioned at the beginning of the video. If you manage to slay them, you will have the option to keep following the sound until reaching the rift from where they came, or go the opposite side to stop the event immediately. Based on the map tier, there are certain amounts of waves until reaching the rift, with each wave being harder than the previous one. Destroying the rift will grant you loot, tokens of Ascension, and a portal will open for you to go into the fields of conquest. Now, what are the uses for the tokens of Ascension?
Exacto.
Well, same as the tokens of Triumph, you can use them in town or hideout as an easy way to access this league's main area. The only difference is this will take you to the Tartarus Pits instead of the Ascension Barracks. This is the PvE zone. Once there, you will speak with Old Man Rigolos, commander of the Vanguard, who will aid you in planning and executing skirmishes inside the Bland Malformations domain in order to expand your territory until reaching the final threat. You will take part in those skirmishes though through the war table. Resources needed by the army will be paid with tokens of Ascension based on the threat difficulty. Some skirmishes, such as extraction ones, require you to defend the base.
Hey, extraction. Eso suena a algo que escuchaba en otra parte, ¿eh? Suena como algo que he escuchado en otra parte. Mercenarios,
against infinite hordes of monsters until the extraction teams arrives, while others may need you to go to kill a boss or push against hundreds if not thousands of abominations until reaching the rift to forever close it. And if I had the copyright power, you know which soundtrack will be perfect fit for this endless pushing carnage? If you are old enough, this will be a nostalgia finisher. Another use for the tokens of Ascension is the
No he escuchado eso antes, pero no sé de dónde.
These are tough motherfuckers who are very well versed in the art of killing, who may also aid us in our skirmishes with powerful auras if we manage to pay their fees. You will unlock different mercenaries by acquiring mercenary contract cards. These are league-specific rewards that can be used or traded. Some may drop from killing void monsters, while others are gated behind bosses' loot tables. Different mercenaries provide different auras, and it's up to you to decide which of them are more beneficial. You can manage your team's composition through the mercenaries tent in the war table. Harder skirmishes will require better units, and for that reason, each mercenary on your roster can be leveled. You can spend tokens to give them experience, and when that bar is full, you can raise the mercenary's level by using another mercenary's contract card from that specific unit. That means that sooner or later you will have the entire roster unlocked, while at the same time retaining the card's value. It's really important to know that once you reach certain part of the league's content, which I'm not going to spoil, you will be gifted the Tome of the Brotherhood. If you ever wanted the benefits of being in a party but you are lacking in the friends department or...
Interesante porque justamente como está inventando una liga que tal vez, o sea, obviamente no va a ocurrir y tal, o sea, como que una parte que no voy a spoilear, o sea, esta parte no la inventaste. Esta parte sí lo dijiste, o sea, yo entiendo lo que estás haciendo. Hey, sneaky. Sneaky motherfucker.
or maybe like to roll on your own, here's the solution. This item can be allocated in your inventory to join the Mercenaries Brotherhood.
Está a la derecha de los
flasks.
Okay.
You can now bring your NPC buddies with you on maps or any other league's content. Finally, the eldritch entity behind this cosmic invasion may feel occasionally threatened by your efforts to put an end to it, and may start dispatching horrible amalgamated creatures to stop you in your tracks in the form of unique bosses. These bosses can spawn in skirmishes and will always drop fragments of the beast. Similar to Simulacrum splinters, you can combine enough of them to create a map called the Blinded Heart. This will be the pinnacle and hardest content this league has to offer, where not every build will be able to complete it fully without some serious investment. Similar to Wave 30 Simulacrum, but deep into the maw of the Blind Malformation. But that is not all. Unique bosses also drop valuable currency and league-specific uniques. Let's take a look at them, shall we? I always...
Bro, esto está genial. O sea, no puedo explicar lo bueno que está esto. Y todavía falta, pero que está... O sea, yo jugaría esto. 100% jugaría esto. Y no solamente lo jugaría, sino que yo vería algo así en Puedes Exile. La parte del modo no te voy a mentir. Creo que es demasiado largo como está diseñado. Pero es una cosa de pequeños cambios hay que hacer, ¿no? El tema del PvE está genial. De hecho, conociendo a Puedes Exile, la parte de PvP, fuck it, simplemente no va a ocurrir. Y sería lo de PvE. Pero solamente lo de PvE ya parece una liga completa, ¿eh?
Thought that brands were a cool mechanic in game, but lacked some customization to be on par with other skills. That idea materialized in the form of the Tinkerer's Arcanist gloves.
Oh
These
my
gloves
god, that's so good.
all brands to attach to you instead of your enemies. They also come with cast speed, which is always important for brands, as well as some energy shield. If you're a fan of channeling skills, these boots are pretty wild. Mireia Steps boots lets you use traveling skills automatically on cooldown.
Trigger a socket travel skill while channeling. Ok, o sea, es lo que están haciendo muchas personas ahorita, solo que ahora te ahorras el skill. El casual channeling te lo ahorras y lo pones en otra parte.
While channeling any ability. Shield charge while cycloning, frostblink while divine air ignite builds. I'm pretty sure some weird things may come from this one. Great! Prophecy Vision is a 2-point arrow quiver with great stats for any projectile based skill, but has a unique twist.
Me gusta. Interesante cómo se usaría. Los proyectiles adicionales no dan nada, pero tienes 15% more damage por cada proyectil adicional. No hay tattoos ahora, o no habrían tattoos después, así que yo ahora de conseguir 4 o 5 proyectiles adicionales es bastante. También sería interesante saber en cómo funcionarían específicamente los added, que si el Greater Multiple Projectiles y esto, porque si las pones ahí y sirven a ser positivos, serían las mejores gemas. Por mucho.
Additional projectiles grant nothing. Instead, you deal 15% more damage per additional projectile, as the perfect shot
No había leído el flavor text. The perfect shot only needs one arrow. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Ea, balista, snipe, ignite, bleed arrow. Dude, that's pretty good.
shot only needs one arrow. Gravity
Ah, lo leyó
Grading is a
también.
new armor
Estás orgulloso de esto, ¿verdad? Estás orgulloso de ese. Estaba muy orgulloso de ese flavor text. Deberías, está muy bueno.
perfect shot only needs one arrow. Gravity Craving is a new armor and an energy shield base unit.
Ok. Vamos a ver. Increase Armor Energy Shield. Chaos Damage no traspasa Energy Shield. Increase Damage over time. Todo el daño over time que tomas es reflejado a los enemigos cercanos. All damage over time you take is reflected back to nearby enemies. O sea, eso es doble Radius Fire. Ok. Esto sí es la definición de algo que está roto. Porque dice, all damage over time que tomes se refleja a los enemigos. Sí. Y dice nearby enemies. Sí, también. No, nearby. Bueno, detalle. Esto sería... es damage over time. O sea, funciona porque funciona la se llama maestría, diablo, se olvida el nombre. El panteón de Aracali es 10% less damage over time taken. Eso funciona con Righteous Fire, así que sí funcionaría. Pero a menos que sea solamente de lo que te dé un enemigo, pues mira, si es solamente el damage over time que te haga un enemigo, no estaría mal, habría que cambiar ligeramente el wording, debe estar cambiado ligeramente. Pero, y así no sería roto, sería nada más como que una chabrons, pero con una utilidad ligeramente distinta. Tenemos la chabron de Full Energy Shield, ahora tenemos una de Armor Energy Shield, que no sería mala idea, ¿eh?
That reflects all damage over time you take.
Bueno, RF estaría OP, me hago cargo.
It's a very niche chess piece for those who can withstand damage or find ways to become immune to it. Having also built in Chaos Damage does not bypass Energy Shield is a good way to give more options to Energy Shield builds. Like this, there's more than 20 other new uniques this league, and I don't want this to be infinite, so I will save it for another video.
Okay, wait a second.
Other new uniques this league, and I don't.
Strings of Liberation. Vamos a ver. Vida, caos, tus resistencias elementales son 75 a 80. Tu Armor y Evasion es 0. Este único me gusta. Me gusta bastante. O sea, básicamente con esto estás obligado a ir por conversión de daño. Estás obligado a ir por conversión de daño. Exacto. Tienes que convertir todo a elemental. Pero no está mal, ¿eh? O Energy Block también. Pues te estás ahorrando todos los modificadores de resistencia, te lo estás ahorrando. Y lo malo es que es un belt. Entonces ahora tienes que pensar bien cómo haces eso, porque no vas a estar usando... No hay Magelot, no hay Headhunter y tal. Y con 80% quiere decir que llega a 88 con buen roll, porque le pones el 20% de quality y llega a 88. O sea, 88% de resistencias siempre son así. Está interesante. Igual dice tus resistencias elementales son, así que supongo que no es la maximum. Por tanto, aunque llegas a 88, que es lo que llevarías con los catalysts, probablemente tienes que aún así tener la maximum resistance. Vamos a ver la otra vamos a ponerme aquí un momento. Dice, all for nothing. Dice, los basic passive skills in radius tienen de 80 a 100% de increase effect. Los notables no dan nada. Güey, pero esto ya lo tenemos. ¿Esto no es Might of the Meek? ¿Esto no es Might of the Meek? Es literal Might of the Meek. Sí, solo que esta es very large y Might of the Meek es medium, si no me equivoco. Quality means nothing against overwhelming numbers. Y de hecho, el flavor text también es algo similar en Might of the Meek. Igual está bien. O sea, si tienes limitado a uno y Might of the Meek no, creo que no tiene limitaciones, es algo que puedas combinar. No está mal. O sea, tú tienes dos similares. No me quejaría tanto, sinceramente. Y se le pudiera buscar alguna solución a esto, porque hubo un tiempo que Might of the Meek era muy popular y después dejó de ser popular porque los slots de Jewel terminaron siendo mucho más usados. Muchísimo, o sea, era más competitivo el slot de la Jewel que antes. Antes las Jewel no eran tan buenas y Might of the Meek era muy buena en ese entonces. Pero ahora que es mucho más competitivo, es otro tema por completo. Tal vez en Very Large pudiera ser, ¿no?
I want this to be infinite, so I will save it for another video. Finally, as the corruption once affected the Zenith Conclave, now you will be able to channel the power of the blind malformation into your items to change them in different ways by using different new currencies. I'll give you one example called Orb of Leeching. When you apply this orb into
a random modifier value on a red item will reducing another random modifier.
a magic or rare item, one of its mods will be drained of its powers in order to boost the values of another random mod. It is important that both mods are still in the item. Trying to annul or change one will be
Okay, that's crazy. That's crazy, man. That's insane. Porque, o sea, nada más imagínate subir el modificador, que si tal vez funciona nada más entre suffixes y tal, porque imagínate subir el modificador de un prefix de un arma y bajarle que sí a la accuracy que tengas en los suffixes o algún mod que no sea tan importante, aunque todos los mods son más o menos importantes, o un mod que sea Skills Fire and Additional Arrow. Eso no tiene un modificador de valor, así que quedaría exactamente igual probablemente, ¿no? Sí. Mira, te voy a decir algo. Tú ya sabes que esto está bien hecho porque muchas personas están preguntando si es oficial. Entonces, no es oficial, pero esto es como si fuese algo oficial. Trataba de hacer una liga, sin inventarse una liga, con trailer y todo, y hacer una presentación, ¿eh?
Both mods are still in the item. Trying to annul or change one will break their bond and its effect.
Debería, ¿eh? Olvidé grabar esta parte. Oro Sacrifice. Absorbe un random modifier haciendo de sus valores sea para zero when increasing all other modifiers. O sea, cambias el valor de ese modificador pero dárselo al otro. Ok, interesante. Esto es lo que haría, ¿ves? Se agarró de 52, se distribuyó. Este 52 se distribuyó en todo esto. Interesante. New Keystone.
We are also introducing new keystones to the passive skill tree. Mind of the Void doubles your mana pool, but any source of mana regeneration, mana gain on hit, or mana recover on kill is reversed. This means you need to find new ways of recovering your huge mana pool, such as recoup or potions.
Mana regeneration, mana recover on kill, o mana gained on hit is reversed. O sea, lo pierdes. Ahí está Moab. Ya está pensando. Esta me parece interesante. Tu maná es el doble. Sí, obviamente. Por nada más tenerlo y agarrar las cosas de mana que ya de por sí tienen algo de regeneración y tal, vas a tener un poquito de regeneración negativa. O sea que lo que tienes que hacer es buscarte, como dijo justamente en el recap, o buscar cosas que te den mana. Por ejemplo, el flask de mana que te da creo que todo tu mana pool al final del flask o algo así. Una cosa de ese estilo. Claro, sería muy interesante un build con esto. Pues doble mana pool es muchísimo para los Mind Over Matter.
Ways of recovering your huge mana pool, such as recoup or
Oh, esa es buena,
It also means
Moab.
new ways of spending mana for niche builds. Double Trouble is a new keystone in the ranger area that allows your damaging elements such as bleed, poison, and ignite to have 2 instances of damage instead of 1.
Why hit once when you can hit twice? Creo que para hacerlo atractivo tendrías que hacerlo 40% less damage. Creo que para hacerlo atractivo tienes que hacer 40% less damage. Porque, o sea, con esto tienes 2 hits y ya tengo que pensar una razón interesante de por qué quisieras tener 2 en lugar de 1. Pero con 40% estaría. Y eso el video bueno, pero mira, lo estoy tomando en serio. Lo estoy tomando en serio, ¿eh? Y obviamente el Poison está descartado por aquí, ¿no? O sea, la idea es el Ignite, el Bleed, que tienen una sola instancia, por ejemplo, ¿no?
At the cost of dealing 50% less damage. Great for builds that surpasses the damage over time cap, but also great for builds that benefit from stacking damaging elements. Any league will be boring without having new gems, at least active gems. Soul Grasp is a new spell gem that creates a nova of chaos damage in an area around you. When you kill enemies with this skill or hit a rare or unique monster, you gain Wandering Souls. Wandering Souls orbit around you in a wide area and hit enemies while passing through them.
¿Qué MTX es este? Porque esto, estoy casi seguro de que esto es... ¿Cómo se llama este skill? El que usaban para explotar a los esqueletos. Y es en un frame justo en el que se ve así. Dice que este es Voltaxic Burst.
With this skill or hit a rare or unique monster, you gain Wandering Souls. Wandering Souls orbit around you in a wide area and hit enemies while passing through them, dealing chaos damage. As you gain more souls, they start to orbit at a faster rate. One thing that is really good about this skill is that it can be casted while moving. Start casting this skill while running to create a massive army of souls that will hit you like a tsunami of death. Chaining Shot is a new bow gem that shoots an arrow that chains between enemies, dealing physical damage. When the arrow ends its travel, each enemy that was hit takes extra physical damage based on the total amount of chains. Increasing duration also increases the amount of chains. Chaining Shot can hit the same target multiple times.
Ok, esta última parte está rota. Bueno, no está rota. No funciona, o sea, es algo que no puedes hacer consistentemente, es algo que va a funcionar muy bien en mapas, pero cuando vayas contra un boss single target supongo que está bien. Igual está cool, literalmente me imaginé, o sea, que rebota ping, 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 y cuando termina el tiempo le metes el adicional del daño. Está genial.
If there's no more enemies nearby, making this gem extremely versatile both for clearing as well as single target. Elemental Tempo is a new aura gem that shifts its benefits based on your elemental attunement.
La verdad es que la Hydrosphere tiene un cooldown de cuántas veces lo puedes golpear. Creo que es una vez por segundo, por eso es que ya no se hace eso. Flicker Strike en una flecha. Ok, bueno, sí suena más o menos eso ahora que lo pienso. Pero está cool, está cool. Mira, si es a distancia ya eso es una mejora, ¿no? Elemental Tempo.
When you deal cold damage, you gain Frost Convergence, chilling enemies near you. When you deal fire damage, you gain Smoking Convergence, burning enemies near you. When you deal lightning damage, you gain Static Convergence, stunning and shocking enemies near you. This effect lasts for 6 seconds and is refreshed when you deal damage. Also, Convergence can stack if you deal more than one type of elemental damage.
O sea, esto es un aura que te da más bonos elementales. Habría que ver, por supuesto, los números de esto y tal, pero suena cool, ¿eh?
Now, let's talk about everything you want to know about Ruthless in this league.
El pequeño zoom.
It's been more than a year since the last Stash tab was released,
Oh
and
my
this wouldn't be a free-to-play game without selling some must-have microtransactions. Wait, what? Is this right? Okay, move on. If you had 3 million of these filling all your tabs, don't worry. The new incubators.
Porque, o sea, yo no sé por qué no han hecho esto todavía, men. No sé por qué no lo han hecho todavía, te lo juro. No entiendo.
Stash solves this problem. You can even incubate
Buen dato, Moab. Mira, si tú pones esto en Reddit, Mako, este video va a explotar, ¿eh? Está
here your
extremadamente bien
newborn
hecho,
baby,
man.
so you can play Path of Exile forever. And if you're wondering why it took us so long to implement this Stash tab, we forgot. Oops. We have heard a lot of community feedback in the last few years related to the ability to hide auras and character effects. We initially thought that the Invisible Aura MTX was a good solution to this demand, but this has not given players enough customization as we expected. In order to provide a better solution, we are introducing this new MTX called Invisible Mastermind. This MTX allows you to hide your auras, your character, and even your client. Now you can see the real Path of Exile. We have Currency Cyclone, we have Celestial Cyclone, we have Sharknado Cyclone, but the skill still feels very underwhelming. That is a thing of the past, as we are introducing Good Cyclone MTX. This new MTX lets you see Cyclone exactly how it was during the Legion League with the old pulverized support. As it should be. Finally, the Lazy Wording MTX changes all modifier text to be clear even if you are overdosed on Lorazepam. Increased damage is now displayed as good damage. More damage is now displayed as better than good damage. Nearby is now somewhere in the screen, and light radius will be replaced with a mean face. Now the last thing that I had to do is thank you every single one of you that stayed all the way through the Path of Exile conflict content review. Making this kind of shit makes me happy as hell, so I promise you there's a lot more from... So I promise you there's a lot more coming up soon. I would recommend you to subscribe if you want to see the next one, and I hope to see you again.
What is this? Íbamos muy bien. What the fuck is this? ¿Una obra de arte? No. Lo peor es que si me pongo acá, o sea, tapo todo menos lo que quiero tapar. Mira, Alexia.
Very soon. Un abrazo.
Men, esto, sinceramente, esto es una obra de arte, men. Esto es una obra de arte, men. Denle like a esto. O sea, that's algoritmo. Bueno, eso no hay nada que decir, es genial, dude. Algoritmo. ¿Viste? Solamente te hago un comentario para bustear el algoritmo. Está genial. Está muy genial. Se nota que le pusiste un montón de trabajo a esto. Dude, insane, man.